Hey everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. Hope everybody is doing great. Just finished shooting my response to the latest on Shaun. That should already be up by the time this one goes up. I didn't have time to do it while I was in the office, so I am going to do what I've been doing a lot lately. And I go in and out of those phases with doing it inside my vehicles. Sometimes it's a cool place to do it. Sometimes I just want peace and quiet. I'm one of those people, I drive around a lot without my radio on. It's a time for introspection. It's a time for communing with God. It's a time for me to really search myself and ask myself those questions I ask myself each and every day. Did I serve a purpose? Did I fulfill my responsibilities? Am I living my life at the level it should be? What did I do good today? What could I have done better today? I do that a lot in my car. I do it at night when I will go, before I go to bed, I journal it and I evaluate my day. My goal is to go to sleep every night better than the man that woke up. And so I spend a lot of time with myself because I'm aware that I'm a work in process. No matter what I do, no matter what I've accomplished, no matter where I've been or who I am now, there's still so much work to be done. The best version of me is so far off, but I see it in the distance. I tell people all the time that my hero is the guy I see 3 years from now, 5 years from now. That's my hero. The reason that I decided that the future me is my hero is because I can become that person. I will become that person. I can admire Malcolm. I can admire Martin. I can admire Medgar and Marcus and Dr. Naeem Akbar and Amos Wilson and Khalid Muhammad and, Boyce Watkins and so many other people that I admire about what they're doing and so forth. But I will never be them. And I don't aspire to be them. I'm never attempting to be them. I'm not trying to be them. But they're inspiration to me. But my hero is that guy I see 3 years from now, 5 years from now, who looks like me. That's the person I'm aspiring to be. That's the person I'm becoming. And so I have to check myself daily to make sure I'm that person. I know I'm off a little bit, but I just want to kind of share that with you, Yeah, I'm going to do videos because I need to get this content out. I have a content schedule that I'm behind on, so I need to get this content out. So I'm going to be doing these videos in the car, in the office. I may have to start doing them in the gym. I try not to do them when I get home because it's family time and I'm spending it with Marion. But Marion, of all people, will understand. Marion probably does all hers in the car because that's how busy she is in moving around. And when she's actually in the office, she's focused on the work and she really doesn't have the time to do it. I try to create time. I try to make that a part of my work day. But anyway, the Shaun King thing, as I'm doing this video, should already be up, and you guys have probably viewed it by the time that you're watching this particular video. But what I wanted to do is, someone asked me to weigh in on Dr. J's 38-year-old daughter who has gone public with the fact that she's homeless and she's living out of her SUV, and that she hasn't received support from her father in roughly a year. And I heard it when it first came out. And me being the avid researcher I am, I wanted to know the backstory because I don't respond to things emotionally, and I don't automatically make postulations or assumptions about what's really going on because there's always more to the story. And so I did. And I don't think anybody is going to be really happy because I'm going to touch this from all sides. And I don't think that nobody is standing in a place right now where they're untouchable as far as the story goes. So some people who feel a certain way are going to be happy and excited when I say something, but then they're going to turn around when I finish saying what I'm saying. I go to the other angle, probably not so excited. There are no innocent people here, not at this particular point in time. I think that this 38-year-old woman has a story behind her. I think that this goes so much deeper than her dad not supporting her now. From the research I was able to gather, he broke up with her mother when she was 5. They've had a pretty non-existent, outside of him providing financial support, a pretty non-existent relationship. That's traumatic in and of itself. That can leave so many things left undone. Just because daddy was able to amass a fortune based off his skill set doesn't mean that daughter learned anything significant about money or how to handle money. These are things that I'm getting at. So you got to understand there's a backstory to this. Was there time spent teaching? This is how you do it. This is what's going on. When you get this, this is what you do with it. I'm going to do this for you, but at a certain time, I'm going to expect you to be able to stand on your own based on what I've done. I don't know if any of that was done, but I know that from what I was able to gather, there was an estranged relationship from about 5 years old. So her whole relationship with her dad is built on money, based on money, what you're providing me, what I'm getting, and the fact that she's his daughter. That's her identity, that's her relationship, and so that's what she's going on. The reason I was asked to weigh in on it is that it became a little firestorm of a debate because Shannon Sharp came straight out. Shannon Sharp, the football player, we agree on almost everything. There's a few things we don't agree on. I'm not going to get into that because it's irrelevant, but most of the stuff we agree on. Shannon's from the South, so to speak, grew up poor, and he and his brother grew up and became very successful in their football careers. No telling what Sterling would have done if he wouldn't have hurt his neck. But anyway, he basically just stood up and said, at 38 years old, it's not her father's responsibility any longer. She should have been taking that time that he was taking care of her all the way up. She's 38, so up until last year, he's supposedly supporting her. Okay, he said she should have taken that time and bettered herself and gotten herself in a position, or presented her dad with a business opportunity. Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna do with my life. This is what I want to do. I need you to support me. Instead of just saying, hey, pay my rent, pay for my car, blah, blah, blah. And Shannon caught a lot of heat for the most part. Everybody's saying, you know, if I was that wealthy, my kids would, you know, never be homeless. My kids would never be blah, blah, blah. And as a person who has done well for themselves, especially, you know, in the past while my kids were young and into adulthood, I understand both sides. I understand, okay, yes, you want to take care of your kids. No one ever wants to hear that their kid is homeless. But what I can tell you is when a child reaches the age of adulthood, and to me, adulthood isn't 18. No kid is ready to go out there and face this world at 18 years old. And the fact that we constantly push them out there is sad. We set them up for failure. We're dealing with that with our 19-year-old right now. She has heard her whole life when you turn 18, you're grown. So she wants to be grown, but she needs us. And the conflict of, I've been waiting all my life to do whatever I want to, but I can't do it because I don't even have a roof over my head that I provide. It's frustrating to her because she wants to be able to go where she wants, do what she wants, and whatever. And we have standards and we have rules in our house. And we're doing it to protect her. We want her to have as much freedom as she can safely. So there are rules, there are guidelines. But telling you from the older kids, there are kids right now, that my children's access to me is obligatory until they reach the age of adulthood. That's the age, and it's not the same age with each kid. It's the age when they have come into their own and they believe they're ready to walk out of there and they no longer want the covering and they're going to go out and do it on their own. Whatever age that is. Now, with my boys, it's got to be by 25. Come on, dude. Get out there and try. I got you, but you got to go out there. My daughters, I give them a little bit more time because I want them to be under my covering. I want them to be under the covering of a man if at all possible. I don't want them out there on their own. So I would love them to be there until they either get married or until they really get into a place where they can safely move into their own space and not be so exposed. So I'm not rushing them. But my boys, I want you to get out there to know what it's like to have your own. You need to be able to have your own in order to build your own with someone. But at that point, when you walk out, your access to me is no longer obligatory. Your access to me is based on how you deal with me, how you handle me. I demand respect. I'm open. You can talk to me about anything. You have a right to have an opinion on whatever you have an opinion on, no matter how much I don't like it, as long as your opinion is given to me with respect. I'm open to my kids. You can tell me, hey, Dad, I think you really screwed me over on this. I don't really, and this is how I feel about it, and we're going to be good. You can tell me, Dad, right now, I think I need my space. One of my babies, she told me that for a while. I need my space because she was in her feelings about something that she realized that I wasn't the problem, and she came back, and I was there waiting on open arms, no hard feelings. You got to figure this thing out. This adult stuff, and it's real. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. It's real. So I knew you needed to figure some things out. I'm here for you, but I'm never going to beg you to be there for you because you've stepped out there and you decided you were on your own. Now, when you're ready to talk, whatever. So now, back to this whole Dr. Dre thing. From what I've gathered is he was supporting her up to the point where he just got tired of her emotionally blackmailing him. And what I mean by that is, anytime she would ask him for something and he would say no, all their business will end up in the street. She would literally use, I'm going to, tell the world that you did this. I'm going to tell the world that you did that. This is going on. So he bad-mouthing him on social media to get her way. And so basically, he got to a point where he said, well, he didn't say it because from what I'm understanding, they don't even communicate with each other directly. She's communicating with whoever is a part of his team that deals with that stuff for him. To me, I think that's not how you deal with your people. I don't see how that works. Yes, you're busy. I know. I'm nowhere near 800 and something million net worth or close to $1 billion, depending on who you ask to value. Even at my height, never that good, but I did pretty good. But here's the thing. Certain things require a personal relationship. The one thing that I have pride myself on is I'm not a perfect father. I haven't been a perfect father. There are things I'm still working on and learning and developing as a parent, even though most of my kids are grown. I still got a few. I got my youngest is only 7, going on 30, but 7 nevertheless. And so I, am still learning. But what I do pride myself on is if you're respectful, you always got me. You can pick up the phone and call me no matter what is going on, no matter what time of the day. I'm there for you. My oldest will be 36 next month, and she has access. Matter of fact, I think she's probably one that talks to me the most out of the ones out of the house. But she's married, but she knows she can come to me and talk to me at any time, and that's with any kid. As long as you come to me and we're respectful, we can deal with whatever's going on, and I'm gonna give you that. Now, my kids know. You come to me for advice, and I give you the same advice a couple times, and you ain't following it, you come back, I ain't gonna have a whole lot to say. I'm gonna listen. I'm going to listen, but I'm not gonna have a whole lot to say because I'm not here to spend my breath and waste my energy to give you something you're not ready to implement and take action on. I'm not doing that with anybody. So they understand it, but they have access to me. So that's the part I can't understand. Yes, you're a busy man. Yes, you got a lot going on. Yes, you have to manage your day because of all the different things you have going on, but that's your child. Yes, she's a 38-year-old child. I have a 36-year-old. She'll tell you she can get to me anytime she wants to. And she has a husband that's there for her, that's responsible for her, that I entrusted with her safety and her well-being. She has that, but she still can call daddy. Now, it's a bunch of things she can't call daddy for that he has to call me for because he's the man. And we got that straight early on. There's certain things that need to be done. He's responsible for it. He needs to contact me. Don't send your wife to do what you're supposed to be doing. And we have that understanding. But, so that part I don't understand. But here's the thing. At what point are we going to start holding a 38-year-old accountable for their own well-being? If he's been taking care of you up until you were 37, at what point are you going to sit up and say, I think the deal I got with my dad sucks? And to me, it does. Because if he wasn't there the way she needed him to be, that sucks. But at what point are you going to wake up and say, it's not his responsibility to heal me? It's not his responsibility to fix what's wrong in my life, because I could wait on him the rest of my life and will never be healed, never be fixed, never be ready, because the person who hurts you isn't the one obligated to fix you. You are. Oh, that's not fair. That's one of the ways we hurt our kids the most, by giving them that BS about life being fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. You know how many people were hurt by someone and had to pick themselves up and heal themselves and do the work and get themselves together while the other person went on like they never did anything wrong? It happens. It sucks. Hell, I never got to meet my dad. First time I saw my dad was at his funeral. I was 14 years old. Despite all kind of efforts, I never got to meet my dad. How long was I going to hold on to that? How long was I going to sit up and talk about my dad? How long was it going to be before I decided, you know what? I still have to be a man. I still got to grow up. I still got to become. I got to do my best not to do to my kids what was done to me. You know, I got to do my best not to let life take me out of my role. That's my responsibility, to make sure I'm ready to do that. No one else is. Not my dad, not my grandparents who reared me, none of that. It's my responsibility. Once I became a man, all that stuff about who did what had to go out the window, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon. At the end of the day, she's going to be the estranged daughter of a billionaire who's out there. And if you think they're the only one who are sitting out there with multi-millionaire, billionaire parents and going through it because their parents have cut them off, you'd be sadly mistaken. I talk to them every day. These people ain't playing with these old kids that are literally old kids. Am I saying that this dude is, you know, free of... No, I think that he failed on the front end. I think he failed on the front end, and I think maybe the fact that he failed on the front end should be driving him to be a little bit more understanding. But I don't know how understanding he's already been with someone that keeps sticking him in the back whenever they can't get their way. That's 38-year-old playing kiddie games. Also, and lastly, why are we not asking about the father of the children she has? Where is he? Why is he not there? Why isn't she depending on him? Why isn't there some type of financial support coming from his way? Obviously, it can't be where her dad can give. But it's got to be something. On that note, look, I got to get out of here. I'm moving around, getting some things done. But, hey, it is what it is. Show some love, show some support. Go there and give and support the work we're doing at the Odyssey Project. I'm out of here.